All right. Hey, good afternoon, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson of the Ring Hire Show. Hey, today we're going to talk about how do you stand out from another staffing company? How do you stand out? And also about short part about video resume screening. So I'll be right back after this. All right. Good afternoon. Hey, listen, today I wanted to talk about the cost of doing staffing and how to make yourself stand out more from your competitors. And then we're going to touch bases just on the video resume screening for a short time. You know, in staffing, in sales, when you go out, you're going to that client, and you got your thing all ready to go. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to some of the logistics centers is what's the markup. That's it. You could cut a lot out. Listen, this is our markup percent. You'll either lose. Hey, there she is. Hey, Angela, thanks for coming on. You're either going to lose that company right there, that client, because your markup's higher versus a lower markup. And all that time you talked. Listen, when a lot of people don't realize in staffing is, let's just say you have a markup of 32%. That's low, right? Some companies look at that and say, wow, they're making a lot of money. Listen, 32%, and I'm only telling you the truth. This is the solid truth. You don't make much money at all from the staffing company. You hope you get some of the direct hires or something to counterbalance that 32% markup, because in that range, it's kind of like, in a way, not pay for what you're getting, not so much in candidates, but I look at it as like when you're at 32%, you need volume. That is the only way you're going to succeed at 32 or 31. You need volume or you're doing the payroll. There's no other way. 520 hours, you don't make much at all. But they need that volume. You need that volume. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And you'll make some kind of revenue. But you don't want to just discount when a company says to you, well, it's 48% markup or 50%. I know that's going to make some of the people be like, oh, no, hell no. That's what you're saying. If you're in that HR spot and listen, what the cost is, and you say 48, they might just kick you out of the office. And I understand that. But at 48% in today's world, you're making, something there, because you're able to find candidates, take your time versus turn it over. And I'll give you an example. When a company says, hey, we need 25 forklift drivers to start next week. 25, right? But at a higher markup, the candidates, the qualified candidates you might have, are way outdo the lower amount. Because would I say 25? Yes, for next week? No. You could promise them maybe 5 to 10 at a higher markup, because the recruiter has a little bit more of a lax time to be able to really interview those candidates, not at a 32%. Just turn it over. This is my opinion, because in my experience, that's what I'm putting. Some companies might not believe in this, and that's okay. This is why we do shows, to put it out there. But look, don't ever, if somebody says a 48% markup, don't just say no. Listen to them, what they can offer. Just listen. That's it. because so many times I've seen the companies will say, no, it's too high. All right. Because a lot of them don't realize that when you got 6 staffing companies in one area, like peak season's coming up, and you got 6, something's wrong there. So what happens sometimes is the big ones, right? The big A's and all them, they get the accounts, say at 44, 45%, right? They get it. Then they sub it out to another company that wants to do it 32%. Again, they sub it out. So that one company cannot handle one client real big, especially with peak season coming up, 500, 600 candidates at once, 1,000. It's just not going to happen. So you really got to look at what you're paying for, value versus cost. And I try to say that all the time. Don't overpromise, underdeliver. Everybody says that. Would I say that you could fill those orders right away? No. But by doing stuff that gets you out of there, and say, for example, as a client, you might want to check up on how your staffing company's doing. You know what? Go over and visit before you make a decision. Go visit. Sit down in there and see what you see, because first impressions are a lot. I mean, you walk into a staffing company and you sit down in the chairs. I would always do that, and just look around. Look at the candidates sitting around, and is it organized? Does the carpet look like hell? Does the people on the desk? It's all over the place. Everything's running around. You don't have that receptionist is just really beat. I mean, she's trying to answer all the phone calls, but first impressions go a long way. So if you sit there, value versus cost, and look at it, and if they're running really well, they might be a match for you. But sales doesn't always have to stop after you make that sale. It doesn't have to. You need to follow up and go over to the companies and see what they're like. We used to visit them all, have them come visit all the time. Have your candidates or your clients come to your office. Show them, everything looks organized, and your kiosks are over there, and show them how you recruit. You have private rooms where you go in and you talk to people. Regardless of your profession, you should walk out of there with either a possible job, start date, after you do your hiring paperwork, or, it might not work out for you right away, but they should call you, or when something does come your way that you're looking for. So don't ever underestimate the value of a staffing company, and don't ever underestimate the markup percent. Don't, especially nowadays. If you were to say 32 to me, I think I would cry. 32% is just hard. And I'm just putting that out there. You can do the math, at 32% in a markup, say $15 an hour, and do all that. By the time your costs, your drug screen, all that, you're lucky if you make 85 cents an hour profit. I mean, that's just the way it is. It might take a little heat for that, but it's the truth. You don't make much. You're between all your costs for the drug screens and the calls and the turnover, people coming in, not showing up, and stop. If you want to be different, you can change it. Stop, right? Get your team back together. Look at it. Look at the place the way it looks. You can change that. Make it positive for that candidate or client to come in. Wow, this place is really nice. They walk in here, they treat you really well. You treat them like gold right now. So when they're coming in, greet them. So have some water. The water costs $3.29 for 24 bottles. Have some iced bottled water on hand. Throw it out there and just, hey, would you like a bottle of water? That is as simple as it sounds. It really can help. Value versus cost. Value versus cost. You got to look at that. So take your time. Because a good staffing company, agency, if you want to say, walks in and say some of the candidates don't have resumes. Right? Don't just discontinue that. Help them. Tell them where to go. In the Lehigh Valley, you have a career link. Tell them where to go. Google it for them. Show them on their phones how easy it is. Don't discount that employee or candidate just because he or she doesn't have a resume. Help them. Coach. You're going to get them. You're going to get them. And they're the kind of ones that will put it on your reviews that you really help them. Reviews, I've always said, if used properly, you can tell a lot about a company. The negative outweighs the positive. That's just a fact. You're always going to have those candidates that rate you at a 2, reach out at 1.0 because they might have had a payroll error or something like that, or some of them get pretty bad. But you need to change that, and you can, because you got to look at the candidates that are really having a good time and really enjoy the company. They enjoy the clients who they're working for. Reach out to them and say, hey, how's everything going? Do you mind putting a review on Google for us? And you'd be surprised how many candidates will do that for you. And I've seen that. And you can change that rating, because you want that rating, you want it above a 4. I know that sounds crazy, up to a 5, but 4.0, take that. And if your recruiters really, make up some cards, make it easy for them. Give them a card when they walk out, says, please give us a Google review. That'll go a long way, because again, positive. Come on, there we go. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Vishal, how you doing? It's good to see you this afternoon. But don't underestimate the reviews. I know you're going to get people say all the time, it doesn't matter. It does. The reviews do matter, because I would hope people, when you're Googling a company, you want to look at it. Let me see the reviews. Okay. Now, if you got 10 different negative reviews on there about the same thing, and you're in HR or you're in that middle management or above, and you see this all the time, or the recruiters, you need to address it, because there might be something on there that can really tell the truth, and you need to fix it. It's just, I don't know no other way to answer that. You got to go after those and respond and see what happens, and make that hiring process really easy. I've always told you the job descriptions, man, some of those are 3 pages long. Whew. I don't know who writes them. 3 pages. Listen, look at your hiring process. Look at those job descriptions. It doesn't have to be that long, and kind of keep them to a minimal. And if you're really looking for that skill, don't just copy and paste. You'll notice when you go to some job boards, they just copied and pasted off another company and just edited it out. That's all they've done. Because if you Google like a forklift driver, right, and you're not sure as a recruiter, you're not exactly sure what keywords to put in there. Stand up, sit down, cherry picker, all those different things in forklift drivers or electric pallet jack. You really need to know the job to put the keywords in there, and you're going to be highly successful. And the way I look at it with a staffing company, if you are honest, your integrity, your loyalty, you show empathy, and that leadership, it'll go a long way. So I want to talk to you real quick about, let's just say ghosting. There's one everybody saw on LinkedIn. It's all over. Ghosting. They do the interviews, nobody calls you back, or the company interviews you and you don't call them back. There's so many people guilty of that. So you can put an end to that. If you're one recruiter, you can make a difference. You can reach out to that candidate regardless. Have that hard discussion why they didn't get the job. It's not that hard. It's uncomfortable, but if the recruiters, again, would look at that and have that hard conversation, because your employee is really going to enjoy that. Your employee is going to look at that and say, wow, okay, I didn't get the job because they didn't have to wait around for 5-6 days and you knew they weren't getting it. Just call them or an email. Listen, emails are fine, but just make them personable. Don't just those, oh my God, denial emails. Just change it up and, apologize, say, hey, but we're still going to keep you in the loop, call us once a week, something like that. And that's where I talked about standing out on LinkedIn, let's just say, and doing the video resume screening. LinkedIn is one of the most powerful platforms right here. To be able to do a live video like this is priceless. You have a lot of audience to be able to talk about. And the videos I've told everybody how to stand out is you need to, if you're representing your company, you're constantly staying consistent on all the social media platforms. Right here, this is being channeled out to about 4 platforms, YouTube and everything like that. It's going live on all of them. So the the audience that I'm reaching is really wide within the Lehigh Valley here. So if you're looking for work on LinkedIn, listen, you got to step out of your safety zone there. Do a small video of yourself and put it on LinkedIn. And instead of, open to work, that's great. I love the open to work, because if you're a recruiter and you type in open to work people, they all come up. And then put the connections and put what state or city or anything like that, it'll bring them all up. So as a recruiter, that's just free. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Keep that open to work on there, but do a video. Put your image, right? Image of yourself on the feed. Put what you're looking for. Put your resume attached to it in the Word, right? There's nothing wrong with it by stepping out of your safety. Listen, I've told people before, I don't even watch. I've been doing videos for a long time, and I don't watch them. Only the ones that I want to delete. I've gotten off some of the shows if I was irritated. I'd get up there. I was trying to keep that video on there. What's somebody going to think about me? What are they going to think about if I'm saying the wrong thing? You got to clear that out. So do a small video of yourself. Say, hey, my name is Dave. I'm looking for this type of work. I'm located here. Listen, I really need a position here. I have these kind of skill sets. Look into the little dot while you're talking. And if you do a YouTube link on it, you can edit it. There's nothing wrong. Go into YouTube, create an account, make your video shorter, keep it about a minute, post it on LinkedIn. It takes us one person. So I tell everybody, one person sees it, that'll help you. And then also connect with people within those companies that you're looking for. So when you're looking, let's just say here, Easton, Pennsylvania, and if I want to work at a couple different companies around here, I would go and start connecting with some people from those companies. Because I'm telling you, the worst thing they can do is they don't respond. That's it. But if they're in the manager spot, why not send them a short message? Say, listen, I'm really looking for work. Can you help me? Be original. That's it. I feel the algorithm should be used to match the skill sets from profile, cover videos to stand out. Resume should only be as a reference. And Michelle, that's what you said right there is exactly what I'm going to go into here about video resume screening and the way, in my opinion, why I like that. With the video resume screening at Duckinell, what I've liked about it is a lot of people are mixed. Do I like it or do I not? I don't like doing a video. I don't like doing video. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I talk. That you have, in today's world, you have to change. And when the video resume screening, bias, listen, could it be there? Yes. I'm not going to sit there and say it. Could it? Yes. But it's no different if you feel that the way you look, the way you talk is an issue. You're going to have that issue regardless whether you go for an interview or you do a video resume screening. There's no difference. But with a video resume screening, it can show you, I've tried to press this to so many people that they don't want to make a change, that you can really find a different type of candidate that you might not have looked at a resume. A resume is only, I agree with Michelle said, a resume is just a piece of paper. That's it anymore. Everybody's worried about the keywords, putting it in there. You know what? With Duckinell video resume screening, you do get a portal. And I like the portal because, like, say if I have a job right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my job description in. You have to put keywords that you're looking for, must-haves or not, right? I only put one must-have. That's all you really need, because the rest of it, it's nice to have it. Put as many in there as you can look at. If you're looking at that job description, if it's written correctly, you can really get some good candidates, because what's happening is if I post this job, I say, upload your resume. So the person uploads the resume to the link, all right? I get an alert. The alert goes off. Now I can text the candidate a video of myself or say, hey, listen, I received your resume. I'm going to be sending you a link now to to perform. This way, right away, the candidate knows that you're engaged. You have it right there. You have that person right there. Do not let them go. Follow up with them, because now you're going to send, I like to send like 3 to 4 questions. If it's an entry level, I get feedback of saying, it's not going to work for entry level people. How do you know? You don't know what it can do. You don't know. You cannot say that entry level jobs will not respond to a video resume screening. It might not be as many as the professional staffing side, but you can't judge people for that, saying, well, I'm not going to do it. If you're looking for forklift drivers, right, or picker packers, it doesn't matter. Put that out there. If they really want a job, they're going to do this. And it's such a great tool, because after you do the resume, what will happen is you put all the keywords in, then you send it to the candidate. So he or she sets up, they look at the questions. Now, when I do a question, I do that, and then I give them some think time. Say 5 minutes think time. That means they're going to sit there, they're going to look at the question. You got 5 minutes to think about it. You have 2 minutes to respond to it. Okay. Next question. 5 minutes to look at it, 2 minutes to say. Perfect. On the skill set, break a high skill. Let's say IT, medical, nurse, anything like that. You don't have to, you put no think time. There's no reason. And you only put like 2 or 3 questions that are very, very tough, because if they know the skill set, they're going to be able to answer those questions. And if they don't know how to answer them, they're not a good candidate for you, because you can not, I don't like the word weed them out. I kind of just says, they're not qualified for this position. So after they do the screening, what I like to do is I like to send it back to the candidate. Remember, you're coaching them one-on-one. They're your candidate. So I'm always like, okay, here you go. Send it back to them. Would you hire this person? Seriously, would you hire this person? And when people watch themselves, listen to yourself, you might be able to sit there and say, wow, I was kind of blabbering on. I was going on and on and on and on and on. You can really learn from this. So not only does the video resume screen present your resume, it goes with it, right? Because after it's all done, you really do a good job on your resume. You have that video of 3 questions with you. Very answered, right? Very good. You have a skill assessment test. Let's listen. Those personality tests, do I agree with them? I've taken them. I can pass them. I know how to pass them. I shouldn't say it like that, but they're all the same. And after you've done a couple, they're not that bad. It's just those other ones tests. Some of them are crazy. But if you're looking for a certain skill, there's like 200 some tests on there. So you can send that out to whatever you like to be able to perform. So now you have resume, video, skill assessment test, right? Priceless. Then you send that to the candidate. It's not just in a PDF form. So you send it to the client. Say, here, listen, here's a great candidate for you to review. And that person smiles, and you're just yourself. You're answering these questions. It's okay not to overthink it. You have fun with it. Let them see your personality, not just the resume. Let them be like, oh, I'm gonna reach out to this person. I really want to. I think, hey Dave, send it my way. Because now when you go visit that recruiter, the candidate kind of knows who you are already. They know. They've seen you on the video. They can see you walk in and say, hey, that's you. Come on over. And then you have your typical screening and what the questions that you ask. But I get back and forth. Some people say about privacy. There's one of the things, well, I don't want my video. Listen, DuckAndNow has a great portal. It's just like anything else. My favorite saying is, if you're worried about that, send it to the cloud. Send everything you do, back it up to the cloud, because I tell everybody all the time, do you know who the cloud is? Do you know what the cloud is? Do you know where the cloud's located? You don't. And all your privacy information from all your phones and all your computers, listen, they know every single thing about you. I don't even worry about that stuff anymore. You put your social security everywhere. It doesn't matter. If they really want to find it, you're on social media. You'd be surprised. You'd be really surprised what you can find out about anyone on social media. It's out there. You posted something, they can find it. There's all different ways. So privacy, I don't let that bother me. So really look at that, because now DuckAndNow, I got one more thing here. It's a job description with a video. So what it is this is fantastic. So you're posting your job, right? Description. Now right above it, you do your MP4, right? Hey, this is Dave Wilson of blah, blah, blah. Right below is the job description, and this is what we are looking for. And you can say whatever you want. So think about that. Your job description comes to life. You can say a lot more in that video what's on that job description. That's what I love. So if you're looking through it, you can sit there and say, well, if you have like 1 or 2 years experience in this, we would look at it. Let that candidate, let it come alive. It's a change. Some people don't like the change. And if you don't change nowadays, it's just going to get harder and harder. With peak season coming, I mean, it's going to be crazy. You're going to be trying to figure out how to find all these candidates with this big exit that's coming up. Supposedly people are quitting and going all different jobs. The video resume screen would really help you with that. And, reach out to me. I can tell you about Duck & Now. They're a great company. And I really press this. If you don't want to do it, you don't do it. They have an audio. So if you don't want to do a video screening, right, you can click on the audio version and do the same thing. You can answer those questions in an audio if you don't want to be seen. Think about it. Then the hiring manager listens to your answers. There's no difference if you don't have a video versus that. You might feel more comfortable. So do it that way. And then that employer that sent it might say, okay, I like the way they sound. They've answered the questions that we've asked the staffing agency to put in there. I kind of like it. So on that note, just look at some things that you can improve in the staffing industry and the companies. First impressions. I always say first impressions are the most powerful in staffing and in professional staffing also. So if you're not set up right, if that candidate doesn't say, wow, I want to work for that company, show them the culture. Get on a video every single day on social media platforms like I do. Listen, I don't want to do all these videos all the time. They're to write up a show. I mean, you go pages after pages trying to figure out what to say. And then I look at this and I don't even say half of it that's on. You're more relaxed about yourself, but I just want to throw everybody, step out of that safety zone. Step out of there. And I offer anybody, I don't care, on the Ring of Hire show, if they want to have a live interview, all they got to do is PM me. I put it out there before. If you're looking for work right now and you really want to try something different, come on this show. I will do a live interview with you. And anybody throughout the states from this show, one person sees you as you share it, and you get your colleagues, because I give you the YouTube link to share. So you share it. And my favorite saying at the end here is, it only takes one person to see that interview. So on that note, everybody, I want to wish everybody a great day. And it's only 3:48 here. So we'll see you all soon and be back tomorrow.